For years, a monster stalked the villages of Ionia. Whole families were slaughtered, travelers found dismembered, their body arranged into twisted, grotesque art. No one knew who was responsible, so they simply called it the Golden Demon. The province of Zion turned to Great Master Kusho of the Kinku Order for help. Kusho resisted at first, but finally agreed, setting out with his son Shen and his apprentice Zed to hunt it down. The hunt took 4 long years, and it changed all 3 of them. Kusho's red hair turned white, Shen, once witty and light-hearted, grew somber, and Zed, the brightest star of Kusho's temple, began to struggle with his studies. When Kusho finally found a pattern in the killings, he realized they weren't hunting a demon, but a wicked man or Vastaya. Believing this was beyond the Kinku's mandate, he wanted to call off the hunt. But Shen and Zed, after all they have endured, refused to turn back and convinced him to continue. On the eve of the Spirit Blossom Festival in Wayon Pass, Kusho disguised himself as a calligrapher to blend in among the visiting artists, while Shen and Zed prepared a trap. Zed chased the Golden Demon through the harbor, but was ambushed and knocked unconscious. When he woke up, the killer revealed he'd lured Shen and Zed's beloved Yevnai to the festival, with traps prepared to turn her into his next masterpiece. Desperate, Zed begged for her life, but it was in vain. As the demon prepared for his performance, Shen burst through the wall to save Zed, who revealed he'd let himself be captured on purpose as bait. Zed grabbed one of the killer's blades and tried to strike him down, but Kusho stopped him, insisting they take the killer back alive. The so-called demon turned out to be a human stagehand named Kada Jhin. Kusho decided he should be imprisoned at the monastery prison in Tula. Shen and Zed both believed Jhin deserved worse, but Shen accepted his father's judgment. Zed couldn't. Haunted by what he'd seen and unable to accept his master's mercy, hatred took root in his heart. Imprisoned in Tula, Jhin revealed little of himself as the years passed. The monks noted he was a bright student, excelling in smithing, poetry and dance, but nothing could cure his morbid fascinations. Then war broke out and Noxus invaded Ionia. During the 5 years of chaos that followed, Jhin vanished from his cell. For years, no one knew who freed him until now. It was Kusho himself. At the end of his life, he told Zed he'd done it because he wanted to terrorize the Ionians into abandoning their peace, and Jhin was exactly the weapon for that. Free again, Jhin got himself a new weapon. He drew the blueprints himself, and a master smith at the Kashuri armories, called the Maker, forged a hand cannon called Whisper, its bullets infused with Jhin's own magic. None of his gear exists because he's damaged. He has both his eyes and all his limbs. His mask covers one eye for better aim, and his restricted breathing helps steady his shot. The accelerator on his shoulder loads and powers Whisper between shots. He's obsessed with perfecting the art of killing, his own twisted way. His return pulled Shen and Zed back together, though they hadn't gotten along since the war. Jhin knows they're coming and he loves it, leaving trails like an artist teasing his next act. He struck into Piltover and then Zon, where Akali was hunting him on her own. She learned Jhin had been attacking Piltover merchants, and questioning enforcers led her to a theater in Zon's Mist Floor district. There, Jhin had an elaborate trap waiting, wanting to make her his 4th victim. He fired harpoons at her. She dodged them but was knocked out by his rifle. Having anticipated Zed and Shen, Jhin tied Akali up in a tree. As he tried to kill the 2 of them, Zed threw a shuriken to cut Akali free. Just as Jhin was about to shoot Shen, Akali burst out and punched Jhin down, grabbing his gun to finish him. But Shen begged her not to, since he needed Jhin alive. Before she could shoot, Zed pushed her aside and grabbed Jhin, demanding to know how he'd escaped. Jhin simply said Zed already knew who freed him. Jhin was in prison again, and his story stops here for now. Along the way, Jhin also spent a summer with a young painter named Hui, who he met at a temple in Koyan. The two became friends, trading creative perspectives, until Jhin told Hui his art was fake, not true to his heart. Later, Jhin killed all of Hui's masters and destroyed his temple, trying to force out his true emotions, turning Hui's grief into one more of his masterpieces. It's also worth noting that Jin's fixation with the number 4 isn't random. In many Asian cultures, 4 sounds like the word for death. His gun holds 4 shots, his name has 4 letters, forming 4 when typed on the keyboard. Thank you guys so much for watching. I had a blast making this video and I'm very sorry to all the Jhin mains out there if I made any mistakes.